Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel, and no, this isn't a common problem. Quick side tip, yep, they're the best gloves, those TGC in orange. That's what we reckon anyway. So, basically, intercooler, right? So there's all this oil sort of spraying down. Let's go to the vehicle for a minute. So yeah, another boring injector job. Sorry about that. A lot more detailed videos in the VIP group. You get in there once you've got the injector kit or any of our other parts kits or Dobinson suspension BFE kit. Any of those will get you in there. It's for clients only. See what's happening. You could notice when the intercooler was on with the cover there, you could see this oil here spraying onto the EGR cooler. And I didn't want to assume that it's the intercooler, but it did look like it. We thought there could be a crack at the valve cover or something like that, which we don't think so. And we're pretty confident. So back over to the intercooler now. If you see this, see the spray of oil, see the specks on the hoses here, and you can see that bit of oil leaking there. I'll just quickly explain it to you. If you've been watching our videos, you'll know that the crankcase ventilation, that's the pipe that's connected to the valve cover, vents the engine if you like. Let's keep it simple here, right? So there's an exhaust fan for the engine, and it feeds back to the intake because it's only just a bit of moisture and gases. It's a very small amount. It doesn't hurt anything, but what it does, it gives you a very super light coating of oil on your intake. And you can see in this case here, you can see a little bit at the join there, but I'll give you an idea of how much is or isn't in there. I'm going to put my finger in there and rub it on the side like that, and then go like that. See how it's barely got oil on it? If you were cracked open a packet of Smith's chips, you'd get more oil on your hands. So there's really not that much oil down in there, but what happens is it accumulates at the joins and places like that. So if you were to look at, say, somewhere like there where that join is, you know, kind of like where the duct comes up to the plastic, whatever, or perhaps because the air is going through the intercooler now, it's, you know, it travels through these tubes. So there's tubes there, they're about 2 millimeters wide, 2 or 3. The gap in there is probably about 2 mil anyway. And the plastic joins the core. This is the core, this is the tank, plastic tank, and see those metal fins, they wrap around and join it together. There's an O-ring in there, you can see it. See that blue thing? That's exactly why I'm focused there, to show you. It's blown the O-ring. So I believe this is very rare, on Toyotas at least. I don't work on other cars anymore, so I can't say I saw it a lot, but there's a lot more turbos around since I've been mainly working on only Toyotas and specialising on the 1KDs because I like them. But I believe at manufacture, perhaps they didn't clamp this end, you know, this end's probably good. Can you see, does that look different to you? I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the camera. I don't think anyone's had it apart. The vehicle's in really good condition. I think it's one owner, I can't remember. I ask people all these things, but I can't always remember. I'm pretty sure one owner. But at this end, it just looks to me like it's not clamped as tight. And if it's not even, then it's turbo pressure, right? You got a turbo boost, yeah. Turbo boost, 15 PSI. It's not that much pressure, but it can pop the O-ring out. So what we're going to discuss here, that's why there's oil there, right? So because you're ventilating the engine, there's this tiny amount of oil, but over thousands and thousands of kilometers, what sits in that crack there accumulates and sits in there. Of course, then when the intercooler leaks a little bit, which it is, it's only a little bit, it's just going to push that oil out. It's going to get messy. Now, these things generally get worse, not better. It's certainly not going to fix itself. You need to be careful handling these, by the way. It's all plastic. They're very strong, but you can bust off mounting points. You could bust off your map sensor, which is right there. That's a couple $100, so just be careful of that. We've never had that happen. I'm just giving you that warning because I'm here to help. Same as the sensors on the side, that sort of thing. So, right, now solutions. Well, we could do that dodgy oil leak fix that works. That may work because at the end of the day, it's probably not leaking all the way along here. The oil leak, it spreads. So the worst of it's probably right about here at that front corner there. We may not be able to get enough sealant in there to get it to work. It could look really untidy, but the thing is, this is the bottom of the intercooler. Nobody's going to see it. Now, some people are going dodgy, but I'll give you the options, right? A brand new genuine intercooler in Australia, $990 AUD, right? So it's $1,000 to replace with a new one of these. Okay, next option. You can get an aftermarket one for about half that. Again, depends what brand. Like a direct replacement, you know, to copy one of these, like from, you know, Adrad, whatever, about $550 is the replacement. So, you know, it's still a lot of money. You can get aftermarket ones from companies that are Australian that try and allow you to believe that it's Australian made, but it's made in, you know, where, the CCP, which we try and avoid because we don't like the way they behave, okay? So look, and the quality's crap. We bolted up one of those, you know, other brands, whatever it is, and we weren't really happy with how it fitted up. But it's a cheaper solution. I hear people get them for about $300, and I'll say that's about all they're worth. If you're up for the performance and this happens to you, and you think you're going to get better performance out of some wider tubes, well, maybe not, because maybe there's not enough allowing for enough cooling there. So all the tests would need to be done, and I'm going to trust Toyota's judgment on this. I'm not saying this is the best intercooler and you can't get a better one. Something of a similar efficient design like that, that's bigger, when I say bigger I mean wider, thicker, longer, you know what I mean? So when I say thicker, the height of it like that, you know, you go bigger like that. Some cars you go bigger, longer, wider. Bigger intercoolers that work better certainly work, but when you change the design going, we want some big fat tubes to get more air through there, then the heat transfer may not happen as well. I'm not saying what is or isn't happening, I'm saying it may not happen. It may be better, it may be worse. You need to work that out. You need to think about it. Just because they show you something that looks shiny, bigger and better, doesn't mean it's better. So look, the aftermarket idea for a diesel, you shouldn't be chasing performance, although the intercooler is probably the #1 modification that I actually like. I actually like better intercoolers. So there you go. You know, especially in hotter climates where you want to get that air cool as possible to make more nitrogen oxides. Anyway, that's another story. We're going off topic again. So the other option is you get one from the wreckers. Now, you don't know what you're going to get. We've got a second-hand one here we could put on. But this one, as I said, look at the core. Other than those few little marks there, not that it makes much difference, but this one's in really good condition. The other one had a lot of mush marks and damage marks all over it. So, you know, the one we had, I wouldn't pay $200 for it. And the ones you get from the wreckers, you could spend a lot of time shopping, chasing around, trying to find the right one that you're happy with. And then the price, I mean, generally what they do these days, they look up the Toyota one and they go, oh, it's $1,000. Well, ours is $700 or ours is $500, or you might get one for $200 or $300. Depends if you get a wrecker that's any good or not. But if you get a cheap one, you get what you pay for. So do you want someone else's old bloody damaged up intercooler when you've got a perfectly good condition one yourself like this? So next option. So there we've gone through we're going to go through 4 options. New, aftermarket, wreckers. We've done 3. The 4th one is that dodgy, bodgy oil leak fix that works. Now, I haven't come across this before. Now, if we've had some very minor leaks, they're that minor, I wouldn't worry about it. And this is almost that, okay? You're not going to be losing much out of there. Now, you're going to be losing a bit, but you're not going to be losing much, okay? And then we can check all that, obviously, using the sensor. And my money's on, you're not even going to notice the difference. At maximum boost, that's where a little bit's going to push out. And, of course, the oil is the telltale sign. It's like putting the dye in the aircon system, because then you can see where it's leaking. Well, this is what's happening here. This is otherwise you're going to hear whistling noises and all sorts of things. Now, I'm not going to suggest this works, but there's got to be some products, and people can put it in the comments. I've also spoken to the radiator repair guy as well, and he goes, oh, he's umming and ahhing, and look, you might fix it for about $100, but then he reckons these tabs, they get brittle as well, and they could break, and it could be hard to get an O-ring, and you know it's going to be aftermarket, and how long is it going to last, and he might do a good job, you might get lucky, and you might not. It's the whole poor man pays twice, how much time have you got? So if you've got time, and you want to shop around and do stuff, you can try that. So 5 options we've got here in this video now. 5 options on how to fix a leaking intercooler. But you could try that dodgy, because around this side, look, that's sealed, right? That's just aluminium. So the only place it can leak is from that O-ring there, right? From that, right on that point of the aluminium, where the O-ring is, and of course anywhere underneath that, which we can't get to seal up. But what we can do, we can seal up that corner there with RTV, making it about 2mm thick, or we could use other product. I'm just giving an example because RTV fixes oil leaks, but here we've got a bit of a pressure situation, but you never know. You got to try things. I really want to try it, to be quite honest. I'm going to send this video to the client's vehicle we're working on right now and see what he says, because it gives him all the information and something to think about, and it saves me a phone call for other people in the future and helps all you guys. So that's why we've done it. Spent the time to share the info. So what you could do, we could get the RTV, and we clean all this up first so that it sticks. It's got to be clean. RTV won't stick this dirty, messy oil. And what I would do, I would make sure I've got a sealed line along the aluminium going, you know, around that. We need to cover around the back here. So there's going to be a little bit at the front that you might see from the front, but the cover's going to be on the intercooler. Remember, this is the bottom side. And I'd sort of just run it from, I'm going to assume that it's not leaking all the way up. I'm going to assume that it's sort of popped this corner out mainly is the worst of the problem, and this sweat of oil's just gone that way. So we really want to give it a good painting around here, We're going to spread it down along here as well, where you're just not going to see it, right? And a little bit up the front. That's what I would like to do. Because if this was my vehicle and I see this good condition the intercooler's in and it's $1,000 worth, I reckon it's worth it just in case it works, and then we can show you later in another video whether it worked or not and saved you $1,000 and you've still got a brand new genuine intercooler. Well, not brand new, but you know what I mean? The original genuine, not messed with intercooler, you know, we'll clean it all up and we'll get it sorted and go back on, you won't even know type thing, right? If that doesn't work, then personally, I'll probably just go for the new genuine, because I can't be bothered wasting time at the wreckers and aftermarket, and then if it doesn't bolt up properly, the cover going onto that and whatever, and you know what I mean? I just like the genuine. And why? Because we never see these sorts of problems with these. So if you get the genuine one, you know it's going to probably last you forever, where if you get the aftermarket one, who knows in 3 or 4 years if you're going to have problems again. I don't know, because I haven't used one. So I think we've just included all the information. Really awesome video, I think. I hope you liked it. Smash the like button. When you watch this video, please let me know what you want to do with your intercooler. And in the comments, anybody else that's got any ideas or solutions, what you've done, any sealant you've used on there, whatever the case may be, let us know. And yeah, subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss the outcome. If he gives us the okay to do a bodgy El Cheapo fix-up that works, that might not work, we'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for watching. See ya. Geez, this guy talks a lot, doesn't he? Yeah, see ya.